everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's game features us
west of the Colorado State Capitol building here in downtown Denver. Straight ahead, it's a matchup of unbeatens between the Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Broncos. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Here's the offense, and we talk about the tight end, Jacob Tammett.
A lot of people thought of him as simply a safety valve receiver. He can be a primary receiver.
On 2nd down, Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. The left side completion to Jones. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And they get 28 yards on that one. And the Falcons are going to get a first. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
I know it's a word that we tend to overuse, but Devontae Freeman can be awfully explosive with the ball in his hands.
He showed at the beginning of last year. He had 10 touchdowns the first couple months. The Falcons themselves were red hot, then sort of went down the tubes a little bit toward the end.
Yeah, their team's record and its production declined the same way, but I really like his overall game.
And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very
under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Brandon Marshall coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. For Brent,
and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Mohamed Sanu, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. The tackle made by the young rookie, Deion Jones.
C.J. Anderson may not be a Pro Bowl runner, but he knows how to run big in big games.
Yeah, he sort of sealed the Super Bowl for them in the fourth quarter. Big game against the Patriots last year on a Monday night, but only 720 yards all told in 2015. So 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 5. From the gun on 3rd, Simeon. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done. 2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On 1st and 10, Simeon. Green with a catch left side. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd down now after the pass completion. Now it's Simeon off the bootleg. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
From the gun, here's Simeon. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They run. Anderson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. To throw on 2nd is Simeon. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
This will be caught at about the 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
3rd and 2, Simeon. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, get into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4.
On that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Now the 6-year man out of Miami, Matt Bosher on to punt. Emmanuel Sanders deep for the Broncos. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Here we go now. Simeon on 1st down. Screen play, Anderson. And he's going to get this inside the...
Always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Denver right after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Well, the coaches mentioned they weren't as concerned about big play offense. They thought they could get some shorter, quicker stuff and be consistent, and that's kind of what they showed there.
What they saw in preparation, what they saw on film, is a defense that likes to get out fast in terms of coverage, meaning they either bail out or they give them a lot of space to throw the underneath stuff, so they decide they take advantage of it and worked on it hard in practice this week.
Here we go. On 2nd down, Anderson. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They'll run. Anderson. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. So we're at, and actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. The third quarter starts with a run from Anderson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one. He's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Now Simeon. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. What's fun to watch is these college receivers transitioning into the NFL and how they grow as route runners. Because a lot of times now in the college game, the spread offenses, there aren't that many routes that they're actually running. Most of the time, they're just trying to find open space and present themselves to the quarterback as easy targets. But in the NFL, you've got to run the entire route tree, and you've got to run it well if you expect to get open.
Again, Anderson. And he'll take this one down to the 36. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves. Nice production there from the former undrafted free agent C.J. Anderson. And teams always want to bring people in with guys like C.J. Anderson. Okay, he's undrafted free agent. He's done well for us. Let's draft a guy over top of him or bring in someone else. And guess who always ends up emerging? C.J. Anderson. Every single time. Remember that big run in overtime to beat the New England Patriots in the 2015 season? He's something. And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position. So much for halftime adjustments by the defense because you know they had to talk about it. The entire first half, they struggled to contain him. And here he is coming out in the second half and establishing the same tone. Still running the football with authority, still gaining big yardage. So I just figure on the offensive side, they said, well, there is no adjustment. Until they slow us down, keep going out, I'll keep handing them the football.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Another toe here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down. So backed up to the 6 now, 3rd and goal.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Jamal Charles, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands.
The end zone. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On 1st down, Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. Mohamed Sanu with nobody ahead of him. Touchdown, Falcons. Mohamed Sanu with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Time for us to spotlight C.J. Anderson. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play.
And when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off by Jalen Collins. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
And complete on the right side, it's Tammy. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. 3rd and long. It's Ryan. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And the kick for the 41-year-old is up and good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They run it again with Anderson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The rookie from Ohio State, Joey Bosa, with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down. And call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Connects with Sanu right side. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. He's got Sanu. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Falcons have broken our tie.
And that 3rd counter there gives them the lead, and it's obvious they've needed everything that he's given them today. The 3 touchdowns, that's impressive, but without them, they're not winning this game.
And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. This year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Robert Alford. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. He goes underneath for Anderson. 15 yards on the pickup there. And it's a first down for the Broncos. And now they're in the hurry-up. They go play action here on first down. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
Brandon, what we just saw there is something we hear from coaches throughout the league. How are you going to defend what they call the moment of truth ball, meaning a 50-50? The ball's in the air, defenders there, receivers there. Who's going to make a play on the football? And in this case, the defensive guys actually got it done and knocked it away.
It's a gain of 9 yards, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
This is a new set of downs. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Robert Alford. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They're ready now for 2nd and 9. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose you. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. They will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4. And got his man complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Demaryius Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1. Now they have to convert. And then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard and the time left on the clock, as you noted? So many things to go through.
And a good job here by the Falcons, their hands team, able to recover it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
Holding offense. A penalty is declined.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. Oh, look at this. Ryan's going to throw it. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted.